about a year ago, I tried to figure out what the easiest possible job that I could get would be. Mostly out of laziness, but partly out of strategy. I was thinking maybe, then if I get another job, I can treat this easy job as my day off and something like that. That never even happened. I got my security license. And the first day I was working there, I couldn't believe the job, bro. I couldn't believe it. I was over the moon. I couldn't believe it, dude. My job is to sit at a big desk that is in a corner. It's like my own little corner. Like, I'm an introvert most of the time, so I'm like, wow, nice. And it's in a little lobby. The lobby before, you enter the building. And I basically, just got to watch the cameras. I have a couple things to do, but it's not very many. And I just got to watch the cameras. I got to make sure everybody that comes in there is, not an invader. And that's really pretty much it. So when I first started this job, I couldn't believe it. And I was talkative. I was energetic. I was lively. And everybody that worked there seemed so dull. And I was like, why are they so dull? Like, yeah, all these people that work here seem like robots. Little would I know that I would soon become that same robot. That same exact type of robot. That was everybody I knew that worked there. And I'll tell you guys why everybody becomes like that, working a job like that, in a minute. Now at this job, there are also vending machines within walking distance that I can go to at any point of the day. I can take as many bathroom breaks as I need. Okay. There's also a free ice cream machine. So I can also just get free ice cream if I want. All day, I could. Which is just like, what? So yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say I literally found the easiest job of my life, bro. I came from landscaping. Okay, I came from landscaping where I used to actually work hard and break my back every day. But no, instead I'm just, I'm doing this job. And for the first couple months, it was really fun. Or the first couple weeks, I don't know. But after a while, it just became normal. It just became my set point. And what I realized is that I made my life way too comfortable. The cost of that job, where I'm getting paid good money to do nothing and honestly to be happy or whatever, is that job became my new normal. So now it's not easy for me to want to go to an actual difficult job because I'm used to getting paid to do nothing. And this is probably how people on welfare feel. Now, don't get me wrong. I still do stuff. They pay me because they do need somebody there. But let's be honest, it's not a demanding job, right? But if somebody wasn't there, then somebody could just sneak in. So it makes sense. But what also happened is I'd been planning a trip. I've been planning a backpacking trip for a long time. For months. And I don't want to do it. The date finally came up, and I don't want to do it. I can literally go on a trip, and I figured out how to I've figured out some really cheap flights, staying at a hostel, like everything. And I'm sitting here looking at this trip to the Dominican Republic. And it was Mexico, but I changed it. And for both trips, I didn't want to go. Like, I still don't want to go. But then my question becomes, why am I like this? Why am I like this? It doesn't make any sense. 2 years ago, I took a backpacking trip to Mexico, and I couldn't freaking wait before I went. I couldn't wait. I was over the moon. And I was just, pardon my language, but I was raw dogging life, man. Which means I was just living life with no shoes. Not actually, but I was just living life day by day. And I was living in the moment. And I was living adventurously. And I didn't care about discomfort. Because the set point I came from was a more uncomfortable life. So, and what made me more uncomfortable is, I used to do college sports. That makes you get out of bed at 6 a.m, and in the snow, in the middle of winter, you got to drive and go, you got to drive to a pool and then go jump in a cold pool. Okay, and then after that, I did landscaping a lot. And, all throughout college, I did landscaping too, and hardscaping and all that stuff. And work was hard, but I was happier. I was happier the more I hated going to work. The more I hate going to work, the more happy I am on my days off. And what I thought getting an easy job was, I thought that if I got an easy job, then I'd be just as happy on my days off. Meaning, I'll secure more happiness for myself. I'll be a happier person when my life is easier. But it didn't work like that. It just ended up being so that my days off and my days at work didn't feel any different. It all just felt the same. It all just feels like the same, And I realized that comfort became my prison. And comfort is your prison. The comfort zone is prison. You don't want to be in a small comfort zone. It's constricting, man. People that have the biggest comfort zones, yeah, their life might have been harder to get like that, but they're free. And that's what it took me all this time to realize. The cost of my easy job, the cost of having a job where I was happy, eating ice cream, chilling out for fucking weeks on end, the cost is that my comfort zone diminished so much. The cost of making my life so comfortable is that I can't do anything now. Not even the things I used to want to do. Like, I used to want to travel, and I don't anymore. But I do, but at the same time, the thought of traveling seems more of a pain in the ass than my current life. And so my comfort zone is telling me, hey, that's not comfortable. You're more comfortable just staying at home. You're more comfortable just working your somewhat dead-end job that you don't have to do anything. You have no responsibilities. You can, enjoy your time while you work. You know, you can talk to people and just chill out. And then you can get a bunch of days off, which I do. And then on those days off, you can just hang out with your friends all day. And yeah, so my comfort zone has become my prison in a way. Whereas before, I was excited to go sleep in a hostel for the adventure, even if I had to sleep in the same room as a bunch of strangers. I was excited about the adventure of where I'm going. But now, I don't want to do it because it just feels like a pain in the ass. It feels like a pain in the ass having to find a bus ticket. It feels like a pain in the ass having to figure out the flight. It feels like a pain in the ass having to find the hostel and set all that up. Whereas before all of this seemed like adventure, now all of it just seems like discomfort. So if you're somebody who has a hard job, just know that having an easy job doesn't come without a price. There's always a price to pay for everything, you know? And what I have to do is I'm still going to go on my trip, but bizarrely, and I don't understand why, I just don't really want to anymore. Because it's discomfort. It's not comfortable. I'm not ready to wrangle the world like I used to be. I'm not ready to just act crazy and do crazy things the way I used to be. And I feel like I'm not old enough to be acting like this. I'm only 25. So I think what I need to do is I need to go on this trip, which I will, and I'll document it. Maybe I won't, but I think I will. And I need to do all the things I don't want to. And I need to do all the uncomfortable things and get out of the comfort zone. I need to expand the comfort zone before the comfort zone constricts me to the point where I'm getting strangled by it. And that's what happens when your comfort zone gets so small that it ruins your life. Your comfort zone gets so small that your comfort zone is you being high, sitting on your bed, scrolling through social media. And even then, your comfort zone gets smaller and it's constricting you more. And now you don't even like certain social medias because they trigger you. So now you need to be on only certain social medias where they all agree with you. Your comfort zone is ruining your life. You need to push your comfort zone open and make it bigger. You need to jump off the bridge and do it because it's a matter of your life. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to die or something. What I'm saying is the quality of your life is determined by your comfort zone. So keep that mother effer open, dude. Keep it open. I don't want to go on this trip. I've saved up for it. I budgeted for it. I planned it for months and maybe years even. And yet I don't want to go on it. But guess what? I'm going to do it anyways, simply because I need to not let my comfort zone constrict me. And my car's lights just went off automatically, so I think that's the video. Have a good one, everybody.